Hits for the pound.
Yeah, this is how we do it in the Central Colors, man. We got 40 ounces, Old English, rag tops, 6'4" Impalas, and bikini girls, man. This is how we do it on the West Coast. San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles. But don't forget about the Central Cali, man. Please don't forget about the Central Cali. Yeah, get 'em.
It's another sunny day in the state of California. Low rider palm trees and G's that put it on ya. This ain't a negative, we speaking ebonics. Rank talk, candy paint on D's with hydraulics. Baseball hat with the sticker on the brim. Don't let the sun blind your sight, cause things can get grim. But I'm not here to talk about banana clips and guns. We're going back to Cali and we're gonna have some fun. A West Coast domination.
And welcome back to Two-Face Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Gretchen Woodard, out here in Monterey County, also known to the world as the Salad Bowl, also known as the Salinas Valley. To the people in LA, we are north. To the people in San Francisco, we are south. Right smack in the middle, best of both worlds. Don't forget about the Central Cali. Anyway, folks, today we are going to talk about that Mexican OT. But before we get into that, guys, there's a lot of stuff in the media right now with Diddy, Fat Joe, R. Kelly, so on and so forth, right? It's just a lot of stuff going on, but I'm going to focus today on that Mexican OT. Due to him being on a podcast, and he was asked about saying the N-word, right? And his defense was, what are you going to do about it? You know? Saying that he's hung around, he grew up around the neighborhood, that it's a Texas thing to use the N-word, so on and so forth. Since then, there's been a lot of backslash to that because of his statements. Do I believe that it's a right thing to be able to say that? That's not neither here nor there. The facts are that Latinos throughout, whether you're Dominican, Puerto Rican, Mexican, whatever the case is, highly support rap music, are the main consumers of rap music, and it's been stated before, right? But here's the situation that doesn't entitle someone to, say this stuff. But I will say this: it's a big influence, right? You know what? And no, I'm not naming the podcast. I'm not naming the people on that podcast. I know who it is, and they're bigger channels and so on and so forth. But yet, we're not. That's not what it's about. At the end of the day, there's people that either agree with it or don't agree with him using the N-word. Whatever the case is, right? Yet, here's the situation. He's not the only one that's not of African American descent using that word. I've seen all cultures and races use it. Not racist, races use the word, to single this man out, it's just pretty much like, hey, you know what? We found somebody that we can go after. People are totally against it, so on and so forth. I get it. But at the end of the day, I mean, this has been going on since the 90s. And mind you, we're at a time where, in a crucial time in this moment in time where Mexican people are being deported, so on and so forth, and they're saying, well, the black community should come out and support this, and so on and so forth, right? Some people say, no, it's none of our business. Whatever the case is, right? Yet, let's not forget, 1992, the LA riots, there was Mexicans out there along with others looting and doing whatnot, right? Was it for a probable cause? Was it for the actual causes? Was it for the fact of, hey, I can go into the store and take a VCR? Hey, again, whatever the case is, right? But here's the situation. Going back to what the main statement is, using the N-word. There's a lot of people that I know to this day that are not of African American descent that use the word, right? And this goes as far as the Bay Area, Central California, all the way down to Southern California, all the way down across the United States into New York. You got Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, and so on and so forth using the word. Cubans and so on and so forth, right? They use the N-word. So why we go after, or why people are trying to shut down this guy Mexican, that Mexican OT, right? I mean, being one that Fat Joe has said the same thing, like, hey, I could use it because whatever the situation is, right? It's pretty much like there's Caucasian women who have had children by an African American person, and they feel they're entitled to use it. Vice versa with men, Caucasian or Latino or whatever situation is with African American women, and feel entitled to use that. And I'm not saying it because I'm just taking it out of thin air. I've seen it. I've seen it happen personally. Does that entitle someone to do that? You answer that question. Does it make sense to me? I'll tell you honestly, no, it does not. Why? I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't in my book. It doesn't register that way in my book. But anyhow, excuse me. There's just a lot of things going on right now, man, that people are so touchy about. People see something on social media and they run with it, like, oh, hey, boom, and there's that Mexican OT, right on the bullseye, Aside from everything else, man, the guy is humble. He's I dare say he's one of the best, one of the better rap artists today. And I just think it's unfortunate that he's targeted in this situation, because I think it's unfair. I think it's unfair because there are a lot of people who are still using the word. Again, do not misunderstand that. I know there's people that don't agree with that. There's people that don't care. There's people that feel entitled. It is what it is. It's not for me to tell you how to think. It's I'm giving you my opinion about it, right? I don't like to jump on bandwagons. I don't like to take a side. It's like, what, man, I'm a neutral thinker. I'm like, what, man, I try to see the good and bad in both sides or whatever. Hey, you can call me whatever you want. It doesn't matter. This is who I am as a person. Do I take stands sometimes on something when I believe in something firmly? Something ironically just happened last week that I went in on that because I believe in that. And I'm going to stand on what I believe in. But I'm also not going to jump into something just for the sake of jumping in and hey, just being gung-ho about it. Therefore, I just think it's, I honestly think this will blow over. I don't think this is going to stick at all to that Mexican OT. I think he's again, I think he's a very humble person. He comes across genuine. I've never met the man, never spoken to the man. So no, I'm not being paid for this. But I will say that he's, or do I know him in any way, shape, or form, or fashion, or whatever the case is, right? I have no connection to him. I don't know him from a can of paint, that at all. Like, I don't know him at all. But I will say that I think he's I think he's being targeted by a lot of the cancel culture that are coming after him. You know, nobody went after Fat Joe, and he turned around and said it on the song. You know, and he said it over and over and over and over and over. He said, "Who said I can't say, you know, the N word?" You know, and then he repeated it. You know, so there's people that are going to stand up for it. There's people that are going to disagree. There's people that are going to agree. Just because I grew up in this neighborhood with these people, and you know, it makes me this, or I have a right to say this, or I have a pass to say things, or whatever the case is, right? At the end of the day, I say it like this, you know, whether you agree, disagree, or don't care, that Mexican OT is not the only one using that word that is not of African American descent. So therefore, if you're going to go after him to try to cancel that man, you really need to do your research and go after basically the world. You know, and I understand because of where the word comes from, whether you add an R at the end or add an A at the end, the meaning, whatever the case, whatever you think it is, right? Here's the situation, though. We have people in China and Japan and stuff like that, dressing in Pendletons and Dickies, you know, in derby hats or whatnot, you know. So therefore, is that supposed to be offensive? To some it is. To some it is. To some it's a fashion statement. To some it's a lifestyle. Same difference, right? Do we call each other names? Yeah, people do that. You know, people say, "Oh, well, you can't say the N word," you know. But then again, there's people like they see a Mexican person be, "Hey, essay." Yeah, you know, because they say the word essay, so it's essay. He's an essay. We heard that in the 90s, right? We can take offense to stuff like that. We live in a complete different world where everybody's super sensitive. Everybody wants to be politically correct. Everybody wants to come in and correct everybody. But not a lot of people have the kahunas to come on and put your face on here and say stuff like this. So therefore, I mean, at the end of the day, whatever you choose to believe in, or whatever you do believe in, I do respect it. Here at Two Face Entertainment, we do respect your opinion. However, with that being said, also understand one thing, that you can't single out one person, you know, and say, well, he said, what are you going to do about it? Exactly, what are you going to do about it? Not just to him, to everybody across the world saying it. That is not of that is not of African American descent. I mean, you got dark skinned Latinos who use the word and are not nowhere even African American. They just happen to be a different culture, being Puerto Rican, being from Panama, and so on and so forth, right? So it really it's an issue to me, in my opinion, in my whole opinion. It doesn't hold water. It doesn't hold water. Do I agree that it's right or wrong? Hey, you know what? That's for me to decide. I don't use it in my vocabulary. There's people that believe their vernacular has to be, you know, whoever they're around or whatever, right? Whatever the case is, all I'm saying is you can't single out one person to make an example out of, because it's just gonna stir the pot and make it into something a lot better. We got bigger fish to fry. No pun intended, right? Hey, fish. But anyways, there's bigger things going on. Everybody's offended over any little thing nowadays, and I would have understood had this came up way before, or people had started some kind of and again, it's pointless. I think it's pointless to start some kind of movement to say, hey, this needs to stop, this and this and that. The world is huge, man. It's been on since the 90s. And now you're talking, years and years and years later, trying to change it. Come on. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. We need to stop. Sometimes we need to stop. And I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that maybe that stance, and some people trying to change that, trying to say it's like, hey, it's wrong. Again, you're entitled to your opinion. Be it that this channel is based in the United States of America, you have that right. However, it's just, I think you're late to the party. It's an issue going nowhere. That's just bottom line. Shout out to that Mexican OT, and for doing this thing. I can't tell the man how to talk. I can't tell the man what to do. I shout him out simply for him doing this thing. However he decides to live his life, however he decides to speak, that's on him. That's has nothing to do with me at all. I'm just saying that if you're gonna go after one, you gotta go after, the whole shebang. And that's going to be something huge that we don't have time for that. With that, this is Two Face Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Fred Segura. Wait, rewind a little bit before we go on. Before I end this, yes, I did state that there will be changes to the surroundings. I might still be doing with this background, so on and so forth. But as soon as everything gets together, it will change. With that, this is Two Face Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Fred Segura, signing out.
Yo, you know what it is, man. Petty Vega Grindhouse. We back up in it, back up in it. 30 plus years, nothing's changed. Two-Face, there is no such thing as father time. We aging like fine wine. It's so sweet and divine. And let us sterilate your mind. We timeless like the glass that you put us in the fine wine. Take a sip of percentage and ask me how you manage. Always shining, it's burning up my chest to the core. So therefore I can't be ignored. But the Conan sword, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm the predator. My blood is turning Two-Face green. Check my temperature, you ready for the lecture? As I come with the stretcher, knowledge is the key to everything, so watch your temper. When it comes to the storyteller, I am the treasure. I'm in the laboratory, so please call me Dexter. The music is my pleasure, for 30 years strong. It's Two-Face ghetto ballin' to the heart with golden arms and flyer. We the ravens up in the sky. We ain't gon' stop till I retire.
Just a song before I go, to whom it may concern. Haters shake the fist, suckers preaching me rolling. Why you so mad? Why you so serious? You in my rear view like the slow and delirious. Keep on mashing, getting plenty action. The home of the G's and pimps, I love it with a passion. Throw it up, it's California, where the sun lays to rest like every day. The home of the color rack, swap meets and bangers. Chuck Taylor's, Lolos, and them real dope slangers. This is reality, it's where I stay. Along the Pacific in the state of CA. Golden State, from Frisco to Compton, and back to Central Cali where the party keeps rocking. It's a California state of mind, and you can't be mad, that's just how we ride. Golden State.